The information I gave you gives more detail on that, and for those who really want to dig in, I have some other flyers specific to these public-private partnerships that give you some more detail, and in fact I actually list how every single one of them is funded, so you can see how much taxpayer money is subsidizing these private toll roads. Well, they're sweetheart deals, and we often call them P3 for short because public-private partnership is kind of a mouthful. So these P3s, they allow them to manipulate speed limits. This is what happened on State Highway 130, it's Cintra's road, the very first foreign-owned toll road to open in Texas. It hasn't even been open 2 full years, and it's already got, financial troubles. Well, one of the things that was in this contract was an incentive to the highway department, financial incentive, so I kind of call it a bribe. That if they set this, if TxDot set the speed limit at certain levels, they would get more and more money for how high they set the speed limit. So TxDot went all the way to the max and set that speed limit at 85 miles per hour on the tollway. In the same commission hearing that they increased the speed to the max, they downgraded the speed limit on the adjacent highway 183, which they've now downgraded to frontage road forever. It's never going to be another highway, freeway. They downgraded it from 65 miles per hour down to 55 miles per hour. So they lowered the speed limit on the free route and maxed out the speed limit on the tollway as an incentive, and that's what they're doing. We now aren't setting our speed limits based on public safety or traffic studies. It's basically how much money is this private operator going to give me. And they paid them $100 million. That's a lot of money. Even in tax bill, that's a lot of money. Then, in the Metroplex, the very first project that's opened in an urban area where there's already lots of congestion they can profit from, we are seeing toll rates as high as 95 cents a mile to take those toll lanes operated by this Spanish firm during peak hours. That is just scads of money, folks. How many people can afford to pay that on a daily basis? They just can't. So in essence, we're allowing a private corporation the power to tax. We've taken the taxation completely out of the hands of the public that can hold them responsible. It also involves eminent domain for private gain. We all understand the reasons for eminent domain. It should only be used in very, very narrow circumstances in the absolute matters of public necessity, right? Nobody should have their land forcibly taken from them unless it's for a real good reason. Well, now we're taking this land for a private operated, for-profit company to make money for the rest of their lives. It's nuts. And it also is granting these entities, these private entities, government-sanctioned monopolies because they don't go out to bid for 50 years. So they're getting a monopoly over our public infrastructure. Here's just a few of the DFW roads, just because they're some of the biggest roads that many of you probably have heard of or ride on yourselves, or when you have visit family or have kids or grandkids that live there. Loop 9, I-35 east and west, 183, and there's more. Southern Gateway Project, 2 sections of that. Something called the North Tarrant Express, this one Central already has. That involved actually 7 different segments of road just with the North Tarrant Express. State Highway 114 and Loop 12. And if you can believe this got in this last session, and this was when Nichols authored the bill. Loop 49, the Lindale segment, can be a foreign-owned toll road. This is crazy. I mean, we tried to get everybody stirred up about this to get this out of the bill, and it just didn't happen. It passed anyway. Well, this very first public-private partnership we're talking about with Cintra has a $438 million federal TIFIA loan, which is backed by you and I, the U.S. federal taxpayer. So if this road goes under, which it's going to, we go under with it. It's not truly the private operator taking all the risk. That they put up the money, and then if they don't get their money back, too bad for them. No, they always make sure that there's taxpayer money, subsidies, guarantees of some kind, so that they're really not risking their capital, they're risking our capital. And we're the ones that are going to have to bail this thing out. Moody's, who rates bonds, has already said that Cintra is in technical default. This was just a few months back. Despite every advantage TxDOT's given them with the speed limit changes, they've dual designated some of our other free interstates as State Highway 130 to entice people out to the toll road, and then the only way north is the foreign-owned toll road. I mean, it's unbelievable what TxDOT's been doing. They've used our tax money to buy down truck toll rates so that they get to use the road for the auto rate. So we're basically subsidizing truckers by half. Just one way to take that road all the way through. There's a TxDot owned portion too, by the way. So there's the Central Foreign owned toll road, which is about 43 miles, and then another 45 miles north of that is operated by the state. But if you take that whole